Hello there, it's Wednesday the 27th of March 2013. Chris Reardon with today's United Kingdom talk. I have been to see a film, boys and girls. Now, I've already gone through the old, how you can be ripped off for the food and the drink in there. £3.45 for a medium Coke. It's not my idea of a fair price. It really isn't. However, we've done that bit. Let's talk about the film. Oz the Great... have I got echo? Just a moment. Have I got echo? Let's try this. Hello? Echo. Is that echoing? Is that echo? Oz the Great and Powerful. Is that echo working? I don't know. Anyway, yes. Went to see Oz the Great and Powerful, boys and girls. And it's supposed to be like before the Wizard of Oz, the time is before the Wizard of Oz. Have to say, disappointed. Disappointed. For one thing, it took ages to get going. I mean, it must have taken an hour before it grasped my interest. You understand what I mean? I've seen films before where they start and bang, you're in there straight away. The last Star Trek film is a very good example of that. It started and straight away I was into it, and it held me for the entire time it was on that screen. This one took an hour before I got interested. And the bit where I'm not really giving anything away here. The bit that changed it from being, come on, hurry up and start, to, okay, it started, was the bit where one of the witches who was pretending to be good changed into this ugly old thing, looking a bit like my sister. If you don't mind. Changed into this really ugly old thing with a hat and the nose and all that business. From that point, it started for me. And that was a good hour into the film. But I have to say, the film on the whole, I thought it was lame. I really did. I thought the film was a bit lame. There was only one song in it where the Munchkins was... I think it was the Munchkins were singing. But that was it, one song. I expected there to be more music in it. And quite frankly, a Disney film, I felt a bit let down by Disney, to be honest. Generally their films are very good, bad villain, fancies, young, pretty girl, who have terrible times and they get married and live happily ever after. The sort of Disney thing, isn't it? Really. With lots of music and bits of singing and that. This just didn't have it. For me, it didn't work. The scenery, the pictures on that was all quite good, I suppose. Costumes nice, but it just didn't work for me. I'm just been interested to hear, really, have you gone to see Oz the Great and Powerful, or the Mighty and Powerful, whatever it's called? If you did, what did you think? Please let me know on the email. Okay, my email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. So, yes, I did go and see it. Was it good? How many out of 10? 3.5. 3.5. Very disappointed. Lame is where I would go to that. So, if you've seen that film, do please let me know, boys and girls. Okay, I'd like to know what you thought of it as well. I was listening to a friend of mine on the radio the other day. He does LBC in London, Steve Allen. And he came across this story in a newspaper. It was dreadful, really. Ladies, if you've got any breast implants, for whatever reason, have a listen to this, dear. Apparently, there was this woman, a couple of weeks back, in the newspaper, and she had an implant in her breasts, one in each side. And a couple of days before this happened, she noticed one of them was protruding, one of the implants was protruding slightly through her breast. Anyway, I shouldn't really laugh at this. She was out shopping, doing some shopping, and all of a sudden, this implant just fell out. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? So you can imagine going out to join a shop, and this implant just suddenly fell out onto the floor. How awful. Steve Allen, he reckons it reminds him of, it reminds him of that film Alien, you know, where the woman's lying down on a bed and this alien suddenly bursts out of her stomach and goes running down the corridor. You know, this breast implant was probably fighting to get out, suddenly managed to get out and went running down the supermarket aisle. So girls, please, if you've had any of these things, for whatever reason, cosmetic reasons, or of course I'm fully aware, you know, some people have these things because they've had to have something removed for one reason or another, and if you ever have, then I'm not making light of that at all. You know, but it is quite, you know, do check, because the last thing you want is one of these things falling out while you're doing the shopping. You can just imagine it, can't you? I had to show you that little story. I'm getting various, I wouldn't say pains, discomforts, which I must have a word with my doctor about. I think I've already mentioned, I get a thing, I've been going to see this not bone person, but someone who does, it could be an osteopath, I don't know. He does all this massage, and it's not really made any difference. That goes from the top of my ear down my neck to kind of sort of just above the shoulder. So I'm getting some sort of discomfort going down there. Sometimes I get it in the neck, just sort of to the side of the neck, which apparently there's a muscle join there as well. It's not my gland, okay? It's just to the side of the gland, so I'm getting a feeling now. And they think, I think there's a possibility here that it could be due to the change of car. That's what they say. When did it start happening? I said that you know, I suppose December. No, December it started happening, this did. So it's 3 months now. And it's not there all the time. Indeed, now while I'm sitting here talking to you, I feel no discomforts at all anywhere. None at all. So I get this in the side of my neck there. They thought it was due to the change of car, and I've changed the driving position. I've changed the seat, and yes, indeed, it has improved slightly, but it's not cured. Also, a pain in my arm, my lower arm, which apparently, although that's not doing it today either, she thinks that might be due to the repetition of using a mouse, you know, on a keyboard. Also, on the sides of my feet. So you've got your little toe, okay, and your heel. Kind of, if you go down from the little toe, and then before that middle bit of your foot, there, okay? So I've got pain there, and the same on the other side of the foot, on the other foot. Exactly the same place. I getting pains there, which is quite, not pains, discomforts. They're not pains, they're discomforts. So when you're walking around, you know, walking around like that. Although again, at the moment, nothing. This morning, it was a problem. Now, nothing at all. And where else? I've had it somewhere else as well. Can't remember now. But it seems to be where there's like soft muscle or something like that. So I just wondered if any of you had anything like that at all. I mean, my best mate, he says it's due to you getting old, but it just seems a bit strange how all these completely different places. Do you see what I mean? Unrelated to each other, which makes me think it's not actually the driving position or the use of the mouse. Why would all these different places happen at roughly the same time? There was somewhere else. I can't think where the other place was now. Doesn't matter. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, yes, so I'm going to have a little word with the doctor about that. Anyone had any ideas what that could be? Anyone had anything like that? I don't think it's arthritis. It's not in the joints. Not at all in the joints or anything like that. So I thought I'd share that little thing with you. My nephew, Jimmy, oh, my heart goes out to him. Remember I told you it's his birthday in April and he wants a moped? Well, they have now bought the said moped. Second-hand one, very good price, £300. Anyway, Jimmy, you know what it's like when you're little boy, or not little boy really, 15. You know, so young boy, gets something and wants to customise it, you know, so to make it yours. I was the same with my first car. I had a Triumph TC 1500. And I would buy new lights and put them on it and a new bumper and do that. Of course, well, he's got the new bike and he wants to change it, you know, so it's more his, so to speak. He's already got, at 15 years old, he's already got a Mini. Okay, an old Mini that he bought off his brother, Gary. Gary was doing it up, and then Jimmy bought it off him to do it up even better. And he's painted it and everything. He's doing it up gradually. He gets a bit of money. You know, he does a couple of little jobs, you know, washing up for a restaurant and things like that. And he's only 15. So he saves that money, and money that I give him, of course, and his parents and various other people. And he uses that money to buy other bits for the car. Which it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Believe me, he could probably do more to that car. I know he can. He can probably do more to those cars and motorbikes than I would have a clue what I was doing. I'm very proud of my nephew. Very proud of all my nephews. Both my nephews and my niece. Very, very proud of all of them. So he's painted the car. Now, he's also tried to paint the bike. I don't know how you do it. I suppose they spray it somehow. Anyway, so he's rubbed this bike down, you know, get rid of all the old paint. And it's a little moped. I don't think they go any faster than about 40 mile an hour, which is fast enough in my, you know, I just worry so much of him on the bike. But there you go, you know, you would, wouldn't you? So he's rubbed all this bike down. He's given it an undercoat, let it dry. And then he's put red paint on it, which happens to be the same red paint that he used on the Mini. And the same undercoat. Except he's painted the bike, left it, got up the next day, and something's gone wrong, and all the new paint that is put on the moped has bubbled up. Due to some sort of, well, they can only think it's a chemical reaction. Because his dad is quite good at doing this sort of thing as well. And they think some sort of chemical reaction's taken place with the two paints. And it's all bubbled up and it hasn't worked. You know, all that work. And my heart just goes out. I'm just so upset for him. You know, that all that hard work for nothing, really. And now they've, of course, you know, this is repairable. You know, it just means they have to rub the bike down again and get off all the paint and start all over again. But what a shame. And what a disappointment. You know how it is when you're a young boy and you try something and it doesn't quite work and you do feel really let down. Now, you know, nowadays, to be honest, you know, if I try something and it doesn't work, it doesn't really bother me. You know, I just, oh, well, it didn't work, let's move on to something else. You know. But you have to give people full marks for trying something. It's like when people come and sing at my karaoke nights. Okay? It doesn't matter if they can't sing. To me, it doesn't matter if they can't sing. That's the fun of it. They've come and had a go. And I have so much respect for anyone who comes up and sings at a karaoke night and has a go. And I feel the same way about my nephew. You know, he tried to do this with a bike. He's had a go. It didn't work. So to me, it doesn't matter that it didn't work. You had a go. Congratulations. But he won't be thinking that. And it doesn't matter what you say to them. They won't think that. He will consider this a failure. But of course, it's not a failure. It's a temporary setback. So I wanted to share that with you. All that work. Dear me, dear me. Anyway, Waitrose news, boys and girls. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. After church on Sunday, I went into Waitrose to get a few bits and pieces. I only went in for, what was it now? Milk, vegetables, blueberries, and bread. That's all I went in for. And then, you know how it is. Oh, I'll just have a look down here. Oh, I'll get... No. Anyway, so I get to the till. And it's £21.60. And so I looked in my little thing, got out the 20 quid, went in the change thing, and guess what? Not enough money. Aha! Debit card is there. So I said to the girl on the till, I said, can I give you £20 cash and do the other £1.60 on my debit card? She said, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So then she pushed some buttons, the till opened, she said, oh. I said, what? She said, oh, I've done it wrong. I said, what have you done? She said, I've just rung in 22. I'm supposed to ring in 20 and then put £1.60 on the card machine. Oh, so she sees some other woman on the till next door, on the self-service tills, you know, because they've got self-service. But the self-service tills are card only. And I like to pay for my food with cash. So she's gone, oh, can you help us over here? So this other woman's come over. Lovely staff we like the staff in Waitrose. So this other woman's come over. And she says, what you done? So she told her, she says, oh. So she's had a quick look at the till. She says, oh, I don't know. She says, I don't know. You'll have to ask the manager on that one. At that point, as if by magic, a manager appeared. He was walking past. So she called him over. And the first thing, he comes over, straight over to me and says, hello, sir. Sorry to try. Hello, sir. And then, which was quite nice. But they're all like that in Waitrose. They've got time to talk to you. Not like Sainsbury's. It is absolutely the best supermarket going into Waitrose. And it really isn't that much more expensive. No, it's not. Anyway, so he says to the girl, what's the problem? So she tells him what's happened. He says, oh. No. You would think, to be honest, you would think it would be a simple thing, wouldn't you? But no, because everything's computerised and everything has to be done a certain way, this mistake's been made and they don't seem to be able to resolve it. So he looks at me and he says, I'm ever so sorry about this, sir. It's just £1.60. As a goodwill gesture, we'll just accept the £20 and you can be on your way. And I'm like, are you sure? I said, I don't mind, you know, perhaps putting something back, or I can bring in the £1.60 a little bit later on if you want me to. No, that's okay, sir. You carry on then, and please accept that as a goodwill gesture from us. I mean, I was over the moon, dear. I was let off £1.60 in Waitrose, part of the John Lewis partnership, dear. I'm so happy. I mean, I might try that one again. Do you think they recognise me? Would they recognise me, you know, from old coins or something like that? £1.60 I was let off, dear. I told my best mate Ronnie, and he said he probably looked at you and thought you looked poor. Well, I am, dear. So I was quite pleased about that. And then, on the way out, so that's one story. On the way out, they've got these self-service scanning machines in Waitrose. As far as I know, it's only Waitrose that have got these. And basically, you get your shopping basket or trolley, and then you go to this big wall of handheld scanning things. You take one out, and then you go and do your shopping, and you scan everything yourself. And then when you get to the till, you just put this scanner in some sort of machine and it tells you what to pay and you're out the door. Ever so quick, dear. Anyway, you have to register for these. Now, I asked my mate about this, Ronnie, because he is already using this. You know, and the other day I was in there and I went and got my basket and he went and got it. He says, oh, haven't you registered with this yet? I said, no. I said, you know, I haven't registered with that, you know, because I'm very funny register with things. I don't quite understand what's going on most of the time, you know, with all these new gadgets and technology. I am losing my ability, or perhaps my willingness, to learn about new technology. I am. I don't want to. I'm quite happy with what I got. Don't want to move on. You know, God knows what's going to happen when I move from Windows 7 to Windows 8, because that operating system runs completely differently, I gather, doesn't it? Eh? Now, when I asked Ron about this, he said, well, you have to register. I said, well, what do you have to do? He said, oh, you've got to give me a credit card and all this. And he made it sound almost a very difficult process. And I can't be bothered with that. And I just been carrying on going to the till. Right? Well, on my way up, because I was let off £1.60 and that manager was so nice to me. So nice, boys and girls. I mean, I wish I'd got more shopping, to be honest. You know, perhaps he would have let me off a £5 or a tenner. Anyway, so on the way out, I stopped at the customer services desk. Hello. And I have this little Waitrose card now. It's not a plastic one, it's a cardboard one, it's a temporary one. And this is the second time I've tried to get a card. The first time was back in September. I filled in a form, sent it off, and got this cardboard card, and nothing happened. So, about 6 weeks ago, I filled in another form, got another cardboard card, chucked the other one away. I thought they must have lost the card somewhere. But still nothing's arrived. Now, with these little cards, you get, in Waitrose, get this, a free cup of tea. Every time you go to Waitrose, you get a free cup of tea. How marvellous is that? Also, 10% off certain items in the store. It's wonderful. Wonderful. So I've got this little cardboard card. And all these stories are coming together in a minute. Just be a bit patient, be a bit patient. Don't rush me, don't rush me. So, I said to the girl on the customer service desk, I says, oh, I applied for a card a little while ago. She says, oh yes, she says, I can stop you going on any further. She says, there is a big, big backlog of people wanting to get one of these Waitrose cards. She said, we're very sorry. She said, but carry on using your cardboard card as long as you want to. And that's fine. Okay, well, fair enough. So while I'm here, can I inquire about the handheld scanning devices? How does that work? She said, oh, yes. She said, you have to register. I said, how do you do that? She said, oh, that's easy. If you've got a credit or debit card there, just give it to me and I can do that now for you. So I gave her my debit card and she put it through the slot, you know. She said, okay, what's your address? So I told her my address. And your name, please? She said, right, that's all done for you now, sir. Next time you come in, just use your debit card, the same card I've registered with, to slide through the wall of scanners over there. A little message will come up on the screen telling you which scanner to take, and then you're away. I said, oh, I'm not quite sure how to do it. She said, don't worry, if it's your first time in doing it, it will tell you what to do as you go along. And I thought, how fantastic is that? And see, Ronnie, when I asked my mate about this, Ronnie, he made it sound so complicated. I just don't think he wanted me to have one. Well, that'd be fair comment. Do you know, there's some people like that, aren't they? There's some people like that. I've had people on the internet before, and you see they're doing something. So, oh, how'd you do that? And then they make it sound really complicated so they don't have to tell you. There was a bloke on United Kingdom Radio when I was running that. He had a couple of things on there. And I, how'd you do that? And he just, oh, well, you know, if you don't want to bloody tell me, don't tell me. You know, don't come across, because people ask me sometimes, how'd you do this, how'd you do that? And I'm quite willing to tell you, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But some people, they've got something, they don't want anyone else to have it, do they? And I think that he was like that with the scanning machine. Anyway, so he doesn't know I've registered, because often we go shopping there together. We love it. Love going around Waitrose. I love it. Love it. My favourite supermarket. I now hate going to Sainsbury's. Very unfriendly. I just don't like it in there. It was my mum's favourite supermarket, Sainsbury's. It really was. I quite like Asda. Don't really go in Tesco's. I like Morrison's. Morrison's always seem very friendly. The most friendly supermarkets are at the top, Waitrose, followed by Morrison's. I think that's it, really. Asda are okay. Followed by Sainsbury's and Aldi right at the bottom. Miserable bastards. I'm sorry, they are. They're not interested in talking to you. They just want to move you through as quickly as possible and to get the money and get you out of that shop. That's how Aldi comes across. It really does. Waitrose, they've got time to talk to you. And they're doing very well, aren't they, as well? So there we are, I've registered. And I'm very, very excited now about when I will go to Waitrose again and use the handheld scanner. So I said to the woman, thank you very much, but I said, how do you know I'm not stealing anything? You know, not that I wouldn't steal from a supermarket. I mean, can you just imagine the embarrassment of being caught? You know, with something in your pockets or whatever. Can you just imagine that? Security man coming over, I suppose, and could you come to the office, please? Yeah, if that's not bad enough, you know, you'd be there in front of all these other customers, dragged off to an office. Oh, no, thank you very much. But so I said to the woman, I said, how do you know people aren't stealing things? She said, well, every now and again, she said, and she says, you won't know that when this is, we do a rescan. That means while you pay for the thing, someone will come over, hello, sir, sorry to trouble you, we'd like to scan your goods today. And then they will check that what's in your basket or trolley is what you have put through. And that's how, you know. I don't suppose they do that every time, but you don't know when they're going to do that. So you can't really steal anything, which is cool, you know, because every time someone steals something from a supermarket, the prices for everyone else goes up, don't they? In that list of, like, friendly supermarkets, I haven't included Tesco's there, because I never go to Tesco's. I don't really have one close by. There's a little Tesco's in like a petrol garage. I don't really class that one, you know, as a proper Tesco's. Do you see what I mean? So there we are. That's my Waitrose news. And, of course, the free cup of tea as well. I mean, it just gets better and better, doesn't it? Free cup of tea every time I go to Waitrose. Thank you. All right, let's do some emails, boys and girls. Hello to young James. Hello, James. Who says, hi, Chris. You were talking about Starbucks. Weren't they the company who were caught up in the tax evasion row? Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Well, I remember they were hauled in, weren't they, in front of some minister. And she said, where are all your profits? And they said, well, we've been here 10 years and haven't made any money yet. This is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in all my life. How have they got the audacity to stand there in front of some sort of committee and tell us that they've been here 10 years, Starbucks, and haven't made any profit, but we employ lots of people? That's no excuse. What a load of crap that is. So yes, it was James. He says, I thought at first, what was the fuss about? But considering what they charge for their products here in the UK, then in some ways it's wrong that customers are being charged lots of money for products and that they are paying hardly any tax on it. To me, the sums just don't add up. But on the other side, you get companies like Amazon. They got caught up in a tax evasion row, but their prices and services reflect this, as I have used Amazon, and they seem reasonable and quick. Yes, I use Amazon a lot. I must say, I love it. You know, if you know what you want to buy, you know, you just go on there, you type it, up it comes on Amazon. I've got this one-click thing set up. You click a button, and 2 days later it arrives in the post in a little box. I love it. Amazon, wonderful, wonderful. James says, this is where I think the government are going wrong, as I think all businesses, whether on the high street or online, think there should be a level playing field. Also, adding to this, the prices should be fair if you want to revive the economy too. Yes, what you're saying now, I think, is that all the high street stores pay their tax, and people like Amazon and Starbucks are not. And yes, I agree with you. It's not a level playing field. But one could argue that with the supermarkets as well. These big out-of-town supermarkets are not on a level playing field with the high street. One of the biggest things you've got is parking. How many shops on your local high street can you park outside? You know, so you see a little gap there, just drop in there. You know, you stop outside the shop, you go in, make your purchases, come out and drive off again. You can't do that. You would have to find a parking meter or a car park and then spend a small fortune paying for your car parking. Whereas big supermarkets, as the Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Waitrose, they all have free car parks, don't they? There's another way of getting you in there. Why go to the little shop down the road with no parking when you can go in there, in your big supermarket and park for nothing. I think there's a lot of shop up in arms about that one. James says, as for restaurants, there are some good ones out there, from the Jamie Oliver restaurants to pub food, and these seem to be very popular now, especially where I am. It seems like the traditional pubs are disappearing now, which is rather sad to see. James, where are you again? Are you somewhere near Lewisham? I'm sure you're somewhere near Lewisham, aren't you? On the subject of the paparazzi and trashy newspapers, they have a lot to answer for. And I wish there was more government control. Let's hope there is. As I think, what's wrong with the phone hacking with the Millie Dowler parents and the McCanns and the papers did it for a scandalous story, which I think is wrong. Also, some celebrities seem to avoid the press, and it's interesting just to know how they do it. From James. Yes, James. And there are big stars that seem to keep out of the newspaper, and I've often wondered how they do this. For example, Ian Beale from EastEnders. Can't remember the actor's name. You know, the character's name is Ian Beale. Is it Adam? Adam Wallcroft? Is that about right? Something like that? You never see him in the papers, do you? 25 years he's been in EastEnders. You never see him he keeps out of the papers. Barry Manilow. Where have you ever seen a story about his private life in the newspapers? Certainly not here in the UK. You just don't see it, do you? And yet people like David Beckham, Posh Spice, Katie Price, they're in there all the time. Aren't they? Some of the time they want to be in there all the time, but I'm sure there are times where you might find a story on Katie Price, and she really wouldn't want you to see that. And I kind of wonder, how do people keep out of the newspapers, like Adam, like Barry, various other people? I don't really remember even seeing a scandalous story about Diana Ross or, big stars like that. How do they keep out of the paper? Do you know? If so, let us know on the email or your thoughts on any of that little lot. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I have Twitter as well. If you want to join us on Twitter, my Twitter username is Chris Reardon UK. Okay, at Chris Reardon UK. And Facebook as well, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. Hello again to Millie. And I was asking her, when was it that she lost her father? Because I knew the anniversary was coming up soon. And Millie sends in an email here. Hi, lovey. To answer your question, the anniversary of my dad's passing will be the 16th of April. That will be 1 whole year. Goes quickly, doesn't it, Millie? It certainly does. Hello to Marge. Lovely Marge in Oklahoma. Hi, Chris. This is just a short reply this week. But if you're serious about what I would suggest on your sinuses, this is what really helps me. Oil of oregano. She sends her website details. I cured a chronic sinus issue I had for 2 years due to swimmer's ear. I paid the doctor $300 to help me with my ear problem, and all he did was put me on hormones which made me crazy. Plus, I still have the ear issues. Well, I've been crazy for years, Marge, to be honest. So I don't think it's probably not a good idea for me not to have anything else that would make me even worse. I found a book dated 1895 at a garage sale and talked about old remedies our ancestors used and talked about oregano and other things. I began using it, and within 2 weeks yellow stuff came pouring out of my ear and my nose, and then I was completely well from then on. I use it daily, if I can keep in my cabinet to help my immunity build up. Another one is alfalfa tablets, another great benefit. Both these items are natural and not man-made. And she sends another little link in about the alfalfa. Herbal remedies are not always overnight cures, but can help in a few days or even a month or so. It slowly builds up your immunity, but you must take it faithfully. I pray this will help you, but having one allergy, I found I have many, but now I have these tools. My allergies are very minor or non-existent most times. Thanks for the shows again, and hugs from Marge. So that's very interesting. That I think I'm going to try the oil of oregano and see what we get with that. I'm definitely going to have a look at that. All right, thank you, Marge. I love this one. This is from Wendy. Anita's friend. Anita's the lady who she's saved up. She's got herself a little job so that she would be able to afford to go and see the Platinum package to go and see Barry Manilow somewhere in the States in not long, in just a few weeks' time. And Wendy's her friend. Wendy writes, "It's only taken me 5 hours to watch Saturday's show. Bloody interruptions." Great show, Chris. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and always you made me laugh. 5 hours sitting there watching. Did you watch it in bits? Would you like me to do it in parts? You know, so, and that's the end of part 1. We'll be back with part 2, and then you can pause it there if you want, Wendy. Is it easier to take in those small chunks like that? And finally today it's Tom. Hello, Tom Harris. Tom Harris, good old Tom, who's I believe recently changed from Windows 7 to Windows 8 on his computer, and he's having a little bit of a problem because it's a completely different operating system, isn't it? And I saw on Tom's wall, on his Facebook wall, it said, "Fun with FedEx. Obviously they don't understand the concept of setting a convenient delivery window. Their only window is between 9 AM and 8 PM, which basically means I have to stay home all day on Saturday." Oh dear, Tom. That's dreadful. We do have companies here that now give you a 2-hour window at last. I mean, we've only just got this last year or so. And I put a note on there saying, I hate that. And then after that, someone put a note after that saying, from John Embry, said, "Chris, your last 2 podcasts made usually a dull journey back from London whiz by. Cheers." Then Tom says, "Chris Reardon is so popular, he gets fan mail on my status updates. I love it." Oh dear, I love it too. It looks like John's had a little bit of an operation. Oof, doesn't look very nice either. So I hope you're a lot better there, John. Okay, that's it from the show today, boys and girls. Thanks very much for watching and listening. Once again, do join in on the emails. I don't think we've got any emails waiting in the system at the moment, so we're completely free of emails at the moment, so they should come up fairly quickly on the next show. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you next.